All right, we're with the last two problems for Chapter 1, and we're going to start off with Chapter 47. And these are really good problems to look at for our class. And it's a nice transition. We're taking from regular chemistry over to AP chemistry, and we're going to see several things that are going to be really helpful moving forward into other chapters. And the big ticket item with these two problems is dimensional analysis. So let's start off with 47. We'll take a look at A, and just looking at how this one is set up here, it's a pretty easy problem, but it's not necessarily being able to do the problem, it's the process that we're after. I don't think I have enough space in here, so I may eventually bounce down into this lower section because I have more space there. Okay, starting off, we're looking at having 5 days, and we want to turn it into seconds. So when you're doing these types of problems, as far as dimensional analysis goes, a lot of times we just like to think, okay, start off with what we have. In this particular problem, we have 5.00 days, and we need to go to seconds. And I have no idea how many seconds for a day, but I can turn days into something else useful as far as breaking it down. And again, what process goes is whatever you have sitting here on top, that automatically goes in the bottom. Leave the numbers out until you figure out what you're switching around to, and then you can think about that relationship. So I'm going to take days and I'm going to turn it into hours because I know how those two relate to each other. And now I can do some number stuff here. It's like, okay, days and hours, they relate by having 1 day and 24 hours. And again, I need to get to seconds, so I'm really not quite there. So I'll just keep this process going. And I know days are going to go away, and I have hours. So if I need to turn hours into something else, I'm going to put hours on the bottom, the opposite location of where it is, top, now bottom. Okay, what can I do with hours? I can turn hours into minutes. Maybe I could go right to seconds. Maybe I know that. But let's just say I don't. Okay, I have hours and I have minutes. Every 1 hour has 60 minutes. And again, this could flip either way, depending upon what I was trying to change. If hours is on the bottom, hours would be on the top and minutes would be on the bottom. Easy enough. Okay, so again, hours is gone and I have minutes left over. I'm not quite there. So I'm going to do this one more time. Minutes to the bottom, seconds on top, which is what I'm after. 1 minute has 60 seconds. Remember, use the numbers after you get the units set up. Minutes are gone. The only thing I have left are seconds, which is exactly what I'm after. So I'll go ahead and do the math. Anything on top of the line, you multiply. Anything below the line is division. Make sure your calculator is doing what you want it to do. And if I do the math here, I end up with 4.32 times 10 to the 5th seconds. Done. Easy enough. All right, let's do B. And again, C and D I'm going to do down here because I have a little more space. Starting off with this problem, I have 0.550 miles, not minutes, miles, and I need to turn this into meters. And I have to do some little conversion-y stuff or look some unit conversions up here because I may not know all of these conversions. So I'm going to put miles here on top. And I'm trying to think, okay, I need to get to meters. I have no idea that connection, but I know I'm going to put miles down here. And this is one of those random things that we just seem to know. I don't know why. But 1 mile happens to be 5,280 feet. Okay, that's good. Now I could actually change this over to, I need to get the meters again. Meters and yards are kind of similar, and there's a conversion that I can look up pretty easily and figure that out, but I'm not quite there yet, so let me hold off on that. I'll leave the units just present on there. I'm not going to cross them off. Feet to meters, or excuse me, yards. I know that there is 1 yard and there's 3 feet in that yard. Okay, this part I'm all good with. This last step is the one I really don't know, and I'd have to look it up. I know it's going to be yards on the bottom because yards is on the top up here. And I'm going to go to meters. That's really where I want to get. And if I look it up in some reference table, I'll see that 1 yard is the equivalent of 0.9144 meters. And if I do the math, again, multiply the tops, divide by the bottoms, make sure you do that each time, you get 885 meters. There we go. That's the answer for that one. Let's swing down here for C and take a look at that one. So for this one here, we have $1.89 for, I don't know what it says, per gallon to dollars per liter. That's not too bad. Okay. So we'll just set up what we have here. 189, and that's in dollars. And on the bottom, we're going to put gallons. I'm setting it up very much this way, not like a little slash thing, just so I can get a very distinct top and bottom. Okay, looking at our changes for this one, I need to get from dollars per gallon to dollars still, but per liter. So I have to look in some reference table to figure out gallons to liters. And if I look that up, I have gallons down here. Gallons needs to go away. So I'm going to write that up here immediately so I can see that these guys are on opposite sides. And I can pretty easily say, okay, I can cancel those guys out. I look up in a table for liters, and I see that that relationship for every 1 gallon is 3.79. So again, watch the process. Be comfortable with saying, okay, which one goes where? What numbers belong where? It's 1 gallon and this many liters. And again, this can flip either way, doesn't matter, but gallons has to be on opposite sides of the line. Do the math here, and this one is pretty much done. It's still going to be dollars, and that's 0.499, and that is going to be per liter, because again, gallons cancels out. You have dollars on top and liters on the bottom. Perfect, done. All right, last one, and there's one little more wrinkle that we can do for this problem. I'll put it over here, just to make sure I have room for this one. All right, you have this square footage, 0.02500 feet cubed, and we're going to go to centimeters cubed. So very similar process than what we did for part A and B. But we have two, actually no, just one unit here, but we need to make that change. Let's take a look. So 0.02500 feet cubed. And immediately I see, okay, feet, I know what to do with that. I can turn that into inches because I'm familiar with that. And I look at a reference table, and sometimes the reference table tells you how you're supposed to set this up. I know for this particular problem that inches and centimeters are something that I'm kind of familiar with how they relate, so I want to get to inches. And if I take a look at the numbers for this, I know that 1 foot is 12 inches. All right, so here's the trick for this one. Whatever you do to the units, you also have to do to the number. In other words, it's 12 inches by 12 inches by 12 inches. Therefore, I have to cube this and cube that. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to wait until the end when I get everything in here. I'm still rolling through here, and now I'm to the point where I can take these inches cubed and turn them into centimeters cubed. And that conversion, if I look it up in a table, is 2.54 centimeters cubed and 1 inch cubed. So again, with the units, those are going to cancel out the inches cubed. And this last little bit of math, I'll go ahead and put it down here, is 708.5 centimeters cubed. So again, just make sure that you're cubing the 12 and you're cubing the 2.54. Ones, of course, aren't going to change at all. This number was already defined. You don't have to do anything to that. It's already kind of there. So this times 12 cubed times 2.54 cubed will give you this answer. Pretty straightforward. All right, I have one more problem here, 51. I'm going to go ahead and blast through this one, even though we're sitting here pretty close to 10 minutes in this video. But I'd like to kind of just knock this one out. All right, so for 51, the density of air in ordinary atmospheric pressure, and pressure has this temperature and this density. Fine. What is the mass in kilograms of the air in a room that measures these dimensions? Okay. Look at this one. The first thing I'm going to take a look at is the room, the size. So I'm going to take these three dimensions and go ahead and multiply those guys out. And again, this is 51. And if I do that, 14.5, I'm not going to go ahead and put the units in there. Feet times 16.5 feet times 8 feet is going to give us 1,914 feet cubed. Okay? I'm going to take this and convert it over to inches, because eventually I have to get over to some other units, which I'll explain here in a second. So just like we did in a previous problem, I've got this feet inches thing. They're both cubed. There's 12 inches in 1 foot. I'm going to cube both of those, and I'm going to answer, and I can see that I, on my sheet, did not put all the sig figs in here. And I think that's because I just kind of let it ride on my calculator. So that'll find itself here in a second, so bear with me on this little example. Okay, so I have sitting here at some pit stop on my calculator of the inches because the feet is canceled out. Looking here, I need to somehow eventually deal with this whole 1.9 grams per liter. All right, so I know there's a little trick out there that has a liter. I'll just write over here, 1 liter is equal to 1 decimeter cubed, and a decimeter is 10 centimeters. 1 decimeter is 10 centimeters, so therefore that would be 1,000 of these guys. That's a little trick we have here. So I'm going to use this number and just kind of plug on through. You'll see how it falls together here in just a moment. 16.4. Whoops. Hold on here. I don't want to jump that far ahead. I have this. I'm going to go ahead and just rewrite that. 3.0 times 10 to the 6th inches cubed. All right, here we go. Now we can see it. Times inches cubed, centimeters cubed. And the relationship with those, which we've seen before, is 1 inch to 2.54 centimeters cubed. But again, I'm going to have to cube that. Ends up being like 16.4 if you do the math on there. Now that I have the centimeters cubed, I can look at this volume conversion from length in centimeters cubed, which is a volume, over to liters. And I'm going to incorporate this gizmo over here. Every 1 liter is 10 to the 3rd centimeters. So 10 by 10 by 10 is a liter. And if you do that part, you're going to end up with 5.4 times 10 to the 5th liters. All right, we're almost done. Again, ultimately, what is the mass in kilograms? That's what we're trying to get here. So we have this volume, and now I can use this to deal with this density and make another conversion. So we're almost done. Let me rewrite that down here. Pull this up. And we have 5.4 times 10 to the 5th liters, where we left off. Put the liters in the bottom, the grams on the top. It is 1.19 grams per 1 liter. And I'm just going to string this along because I don't want an answer in grams. I want an answer in kilograms. Of course, you can't see that. I'll pull it down. I want an answer in kilograms. So let me go ahead and say, okay, grams down here, kilograms is what I want. Put that on the opposite location. Grams goes to the bottom, kilograms will be on top. The relationship between these two guys, 1 kilogram, which is large, is going to be the equivalent of 1,000 grams. Grams is little, 1,000 in a kilogram.